Oh my goodness. I'm back. It's been over 2 months since I've done a podcast episode. I just haven't quite had the motivation. It's tough to find the time. It's tough to find the energy, mostly, especially at night. I get home from work, hang out with my son until he goes to bed, and then I kind of just want to chill a lot of days. So I don't know. I just haven't quite had the motivation, and also, if you're my friend, you're hearing me talk about a lot about this stuff anyway. So with that said, for those who are listening, if you could spread the word to your own friends, and give me some feedback as well. I think that might help motivate me to do some more as well. Either way, I enjoy it for keeping a log of what I've been listening to, and this will be a good one for me to catch up on everything I've been listening to. This one, I'm not going to talk about any hip-hop, even though I've been listening to a bunch of hip-hop, because there's been so much that's come out. And that's why next episode, I'm just going to cover the extraordinary amount of new hip-hop that's come out. Especially because Joey Badass is going to drop an album tomorrow. As I'm recording this, it'll be tomorrow. And so I kind of want to wait to hear that and include that in just the insane amount of hip-hop that's come out. I mean, just so many albums. So I'm going to cover all of those in the next episode. This one's going to be everything outside of hip-hop. So I can't even believe I haven't talked about this yet, but I got to start with a concert that I went to. I probably had talked about it in recent podcasts, but I saw Dr. Dog at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Denver, Colorado. And it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I saw them with my wife and my son and friends of ours, and it was incredible. Probably my favorite concert experience, and I've been to a lot of concerts, but just the venue itself is gorgeous. Red Rocks is just gorgeous, and we sat far enough back enough. So just a tip for you: unless you get seats, unless you buy a specific seat, everything's general admission, and the general admission is up front and in the back, kind of. And so we actually decided to go more towards the back because you get the whole scenic view behind the stage and around you. It's just more of a vibe. It's more of a feeling and experience that, if you get up close to the stage, you're kind of just watching another concert. Whereas, when you're further back, you see the Denver skyline. You see the valley behind you, the rocks. The sun was setting during the opener. Just a gorgeous, surreal experience. And Dr. Dog just absolutely crushed it. They came out with a full horn section, backing vocalists. They had a more full sound than on their records. I actually think that some of the songs they did sounded better live at this concert than on the record, just because they had horns blasting and the backing vocals, and just the band was on fire, and they played an amazing set, just perfect blend of all their stuff. And I say all that to tell the story of the concert, but to also say that I've really been listening to the set list of that concert. I made a playlist of all the songs that they did, and I've been listening to the heck out of that. So has my wife. I mean, the whole rest of the trip in Colorado, and we went to Montana after that, we were listening to this playlist, and I just feel like it's a perfect blend of all their styles and sounds, and just a great, if you're not familiar with them, this is a good intro to them too. And if you are a fan, you're going to love it too. So I'm gonna put a link to this playlist, which is their set list, their Red Rocks set list that they played, in the description of this episode. And because I've been listening to that a bunch. And so that's got to be the first thing that Lee's been listening to. All right, so in a similar realm, my bandmate and good buddy Patrick showed me this band called Richy, Mitch, and the Coal Miners, and they actually remind me a lot of Dr. Dog. So I'm gonna talk about them next, and they actually have two albums out this year. Called No Silent Monks is one, and the other one's called Colorado's on Fire Again. Both really cool. I think No Silent Monks might have a slight edge up on the other one, but they're both really great. Like I said, they remind me of Dr. Dog, but they're kind of like Dr. Dog meets Fleet Foxes to me because they focus a little more on harmonies. It's a little more mellow vocals. But yeah, like they're like Fleet Foxes but more rockin'. That's why I compare them to Dr. Dog too. So great vocal harmonies, nice tasty guitar solos and guitar lines throughout. This is good morning music, just very chill. Yeah, this is great stuff. My wife loves this. She said it's a contender for album of the year for her. And Patrick, my buddy, described it as listening. He described listening to it as like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. So I like that description. So I'll end with that on that. That was Richy, Mitch, and the Coal Miners. Two albums from them, No Silent Monks and Colorado's on Fire Again. I will put a link to both of those in there. On a similar realm, Patrick also recommended this one to me, but I had already listened to it because I'm a fan of Alex G, and his new album is called Headlights. And Alex G is like indie folk, also mellow vocals. So Richy Mitch is also like indie folk rock. So like Fleet Foxes and Dr. Dog. Alex G is even more mellow. I would say this is more of indie folk. Mellow vocals, very nice guitar work. The guitar work, right off the bat, the first song, gorgeous. Very interesting piano and different keyboard tones throughout as well. Mandolin on a few songs as well. Loved that. There's a lot going on. Even though it's very subtle and mellow, there is a lot of layering and full sound to it. It's really cool. My wife said it has an early 2000s vibe to it, which I can hear now that she said that. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this album. Been playing it in the morning a lot, as well as the Richy Mitch. But yeah, Alex G, Headlights. Put this on in the morning, and I think it'll set you off on a nice mellow mood. Yeah, so I'm going to get into some country stuff, too. One of the biggest album releases for me was Tyler Childers' new album, Snipe Hunter. I've been really excited for this. I've been a Tyler Childers fan for quite a long time now. I pretty much like everything he's put out. And this one took me a minute. This first listen, I was like, oh, I don't know. This is weird. The lyrics specifically are what kind of made me weirded out by the album. And also, he kind of got away from the more like honky tonk, almost bluegrassy country that he's done on previous albums. He went for kind of more of a straightforward country rock vibe on this one. I would say this is probably his most rockin' country album. And like I said, the lyrics just on a couple songs, like Bitin' List, where he's literally talking about having rabies and he would bite you, like he doesn't like somebody and they would be on the top of his biting list. And then there's a song about watching out for animals biting you in the wilderness. And then there's a song about Australia, and he's talking about koalas. And it just also, okay, another weird part is he goes into this whole Hare Krishna or like Hindu chant song where he kind of blends it with fiddle and country sound. And so I don't know. On the first listen and second listen, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Mostly just because those songs kind of had like a shock factor to them. The rest of them are pretty straightforward and really aren't shocking or anything. But after listening to this more and more, I really love this album. I really think it's great. And the whole animalistic thing is like a concept of the album. That's why it's called Snipe Hunter and everything. So all the references to animals, it all grew on me because I'm like, okay, this is like the concept of this album. And so, yeah, I love this album now. I mean, the first song, Eatin' Big Time, he just comes out swinging. And I love this song from the beginning. I love this. His voice is just ripping. I mean, on another level. It's almost like clipping the sound. His voice is like breaking through the speakers. Yeah, he's on another level on this one. And then Cutting Teeth, great straightforward country song, great lyrics. Lyrically, just on it again. Loving it. Love the lyrics. Onita is interesting lyrics, getting to the bottom. Like I said, Biting List, that was, he's talking. It's clever and funny to me now, and I almost kind of relate it to like a John Prine song or something where he's saying, if I ever had rabies, you'd be on the top of my biting list. He's just talking about someone he hates. He put the song Nose on the Grindstone, which has been out for over 10 years, but he finally put it on an album. That's on there. Beautiful song about staying off of drugs. Yeah, and then, like I said, he talks about Hinduism on this, which is really interesting, especially on the song Tirtha Yatra, where he's kind of making fun of himself for learning about the Hindu culture, and he's saying things wrong, he's pronouncing things wrong, but he hopes that people still respect him trying. And I just think lyrically, it's great. It's great. And then the fact that he mixed fiddle and a country sound with Hindu chants is very unique, and it works. It just freaked me out at first, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it's really grown on me. The last song could be a line dance. Dirty Hot Trill could be a line dance at the country bar, I swear. Snipe Hunt rocks, Poachers rocks. Yeah, this is a fabulous album. It freaked me out at first, but I love it now. Yeah. So, sorry, I went on a little long on that one, but that was, been very excited about this album, and it didn't disappoint. It didn't. Tyler Childers, Snipe Hunter, great album. Been playing it a bunch. In the country vibe as well, I listened to G-Love with his album G-Love Goes Country. And if you're not familiar with G-Love, he's kind of a genre blending artist, kind of bluesy, kind of folky, even kind of raps, kind of funky. He's like a Jason Mraz. I would compare him to. Josh might hate that comparison. Shout out to Josh. But he's like a Jason Mraz with more blues and soulful style to him. A little more swagger to him. He plays harmonica too. It's different, but that's who I'm going to compare it to for the sake of people knowing. He's from Philly too. Shout out. So, and he went country on this album, and I love it because he's still got his laid back, raspy voice. So, if you're not into typical country singing style, but you like the music that accompanies country music, you'll like this because he doesn't have that country accent while he's singing. It's more of like a bluesy folk style of singing, but it's got great country style music in the background, great guitar picking. The slide guitar throughout this thing is great. Bass parts. This is a fun album. I've been listening to it a bunch. All right, I'm going to talk about a rock album that I've been listening to. I haven't been listening to a bunch of rock recently, just because there's been just so much hip hop out. But the new Deftones album, Private Music. Man, alternative hard rock band Deftones that have been around for 30 years now. They are just one of the most consistent rock bands. Yeah, if you're not familiar, some bands I would relate their sound to would be Tool or Chevelle. And what I love about them is they have a way of making hard rock music kind of beautiful. With like the vocal harmonies on the choruses, they just have these really big build-ups, and the guitar parts overlay and are in the background, kind of harmonizing with the vocals as well, especially on the choruses, and they get this wall of sound and powerful, uplifting, I would say beautiful sound. Yeah, it's like I don't know, you can like feel the passion and I don't know, maybe pain in his voice and the music itself. I just love the style that they put together. And they did it again with this album. Powerful driving guitar riffs. One in particular, Infinite Source, has this really cool fret harmonic riff. And they even get quieter and somber at times. And yeah, this is just a dynamic and kick-ass album. They sound polished, almost more than ever. And the mix sounds great. They do have a way of having the vocals kind of more in the background, which might take some getting used to, but I kind of like it because it all blends everything together. So it makes it harder to hear the lyrics. I will say that's sort of a downside, but yeah, they just sound super polished on this. The mix sounds great. Everything, the drums are just ferocious on this. I've been listening to the heck out of this. This is climbing up the Lee charts for me. Yeah, I'm really surprised by how much, for a band that's been in the game for 30 years to put out another good album is just crazy. I mean, good for them. Good for them. So, all right, I'm going to move into some kind of more jazzy stuff. And man, this one, I've been sending it to people. I've been telling everybody listen to this shit. Jon Batiste came out with a new album called Big Money. And it's got a very old school style. It kind of feels 50s, 60s-ish. And the first track is a great jazzy duet. Couple like that on here. There's another nice piano jazz tune duet with a feature from none other than Randy Newman. And if you don't know who Randy Newman is, you do know who Randy Newman is. I promise you do, because I had to do this with my wife too. I just said, "You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me." Yeah, he's the Toy Story singer. That's Randy Newman. He's the man. So, anyways, that's a great tune with him. And then Jon Batiste gets this New Orleans vibe, which he is from Louisiana, so it makes sense. But he gets a New Orleans vibe on this one, especially on the songs Big Money and Pinnacle. Great tunes. Those are two of my favorites. Pinnacle is awesome. That riff, that guitar riff is great. And Big Money, I've had Big Money stuck in my head for weeks. He goes, might as well live for something you can feel. Might as well live for something real. Oh, man. It's been stuck in my head for weeks now. And yeah, he even gets a reggae vibe on the last track with No ID on production, which is interesting. And he gets a nice soulful groove on a couple songs, especially At All. I love that song. Yeah, this is a fabulous album. This is going to be up there for me this year. I can't stop listening to it. It's even got a really nice love song. I might call the lyrics a little corny, but hey, if you got someone you love, this is that's a perfect one to send to them. I sent it to my wife, and the lyrics, are definitely relatable if you're feeling in love. I think it's called "Don't" or "I Would Do It All Again." Do it all again. Yeah, beautiful song. And then a song called "Maybe," where he's just kind of reflecting on what life might be, what might be after. Yeah, man, this album's really something special. John Batiste, Big Money. Yep. All right, one more album for you, and then I'm gonna talk about a couple stand-up specials. But this last album is also a jazzy one, and this is Kokoroko with an album called "Tough Times Never Last." This is a recommendation from Josh, and yeah, man, I've been playing the hell out of this thing. This is probably the album I've played the most this year, maybe, just because you could put it on at any time, and it's just good vibes, good rhythm, good positive feelings all around with this one. It's got great horns and percussion. It has some kind of African rhythm vibes to it on some of the songs too. Some very jazzy songs, almost kind of like Brazilian rhythm in there too. A lot of percussion, and just groovy vibes. And the fucking bass lines on this thing. Oh my god, man, bass lines on this. Great, tasty, smooth guitar licks, background vocal harmonies. Lyrically, not doing a lot. They kind of just the singing and the vocals is kind of more just complementing the vibe. They kind of just fall into like a repetitive, vocal cadence that they just continue with for the song, and it just works because you can just throw this on and listen directly to it, or have it on as background music. You're gonna vibe with this no matter what. This is just all around good music, wholesome, good music with great rhythms, great instrumentation. I think anyone would like this. I think you could put it on around anyone, and they're gonna vibe with it. I think as long as you have a soul, you'll like this. And I want to see this group live. I cannot wait they need to come to Florida because I got to see them. And I might even travel further to see them because it's going to be a great show to see these guys. No doubt. Big band, too. A lot of members. So that was Kokoroko. Tough Times Never Last. All right. I'm just going to quickly touch on a couple stand-up specials. Probably my favorite stand-up special of the year so far, I think, is I Never Promised You a Rose Garden by Joe DeRosa. And this is just on YouTube. And I just like his commentary on life in general and how, like, cynical he is. Hey, if you know me, that's kind of how my mind works a little bit too. And for example, he just talks about one of the jokes is about him feeling like the weekend is just the biggest hustle that there is. Like, you're just supposed to get everything done that you need to with 2 days, and then you're just right back into the work. He makes it a lot funnier, but it's just that kind of cynicism where he's just touching on like what our lives are in this society and how just funny it is that we're in it and how much we're being hustled by the man or whatever, Anyways, so yeah, that's I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, Joe DeRosa. Another one of my favorite comedians, but she's not gonna be for everybody, is Steph Tolev, and just the most accurate title ever is Filth Queen. That's the name of her special, is Filth Queen, because she is filthy. I mean, this is sex talk to the max. I mean, comparatively to like Nikki Glaser, where it's just, but Steph is not. She's she's just crazier with it. She's almost like terrifying. Like she does it on purpose. Like you kind of look at her and go, this girl, she's crazy, and it's just so funny. Like she'll go up to the audience and like get right in their face and kind of freak them out, and she's just talks very very descriptive about some sexual experiences and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I love it. Steph Tolev, hilarious, Filth Queen. And then another guy I've been watching for a long time, just great, kind of just a straightforward comedian, not clean like Seinfeld, but like those kind of jokes where it's just social commentary. He finds kind of the more like mundane things in life and finds a way to make them funny. And that's Joe List. His new one is called Small Ball. I think this has been a really great special. He's cracking me up again. Yeah, Joe List, Small Ball, and he's kind of like a dorky, smaller guy, lovable, self-deprecating too. Yeah, great special. That one's on YouTube. Steph Tolev is on Hulu. So, but if you don't have streaming services, the first and the last one I mentioned are just on YouTube. So easy to get, free too. So, all right, that's what I got for you on this episode. Sorry it's been so long, but I've got the motivation back a little bit more. I'm excited to talk about the hip hop albums that have come out on the next episode. I mean, the list is insane. Ghostface Killer, Raekwon, classic guys coming out with new stuff. Chance the Rapper, Clips. Oh my God. Metro Boomin. Like I said, Joey Badass is about to drop. Oh my God. Alfredo 2. Freddie Gibbs came out. I think there's even more. Man, Earl Sweatshirt dropped. God, I have like a whole list. Oh, Tyler, the Creator. Yeah, there's so many. So I'm going to talk about all those and tell you which ones I liked and which ones I thought were pretty good and okay. And but yeah, it's been a blast. It's been really, really cool for hip hop and just music in general. So thanks for listening. Happy to be back.